And I just want to thank you guys for being here today and taking the time to join us. We started this a few weeks ago when kind of everything hit. We were kind of going, well, this is different. I wonder what's going to happen. Like, how are we going to get through it? How are we going to be smart? How are we going to figure it out? And what we decided to do is go out and reach out to some of the top agents in the city and some of the top people in the city and just go, okay, what are you doing? What's different? How are you shifting? What's going on? And so we've been doing these on Tuesday and Thursdays and really been having quite a bit of success. And I leave every time with lots of great ideas. So I want to thank everybody for being here. The people in the audience can see us and they can actually ask questions through the question in the chat box in there. And we'll try to do our best to answer them as we go through. It's a fun little panel. We've got some variety here today, which I think will be good. I'm going to ask everybody just to say a little bit about their years in real estate and maybe their team or their transactions, except for Larry, who I'm going to ask to go first, because today we thought it'd be fun to have a home inspector on our panel, because it's definitely different. Larry, how long have you been an inspector and what kind of volume are you doing?
Well, started in 2012. I think I did 2 inspections that first month. And last month we did 456 inspections.
Yeah.
So we've done about 16, almost 17,000 home inspections in that time.
So you kind of know what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got 10 guys and now we were struggling to keep up with 10 guys 3 weeks ago. Now I'm happy if I get each one job a day.
Yeah, it's definitely a shift. What about you, Lee? You've got a different background than some of the other people on here. I think it's going to be a diverse panel because we're all over the place. You've been in real estate for just a little bit and also we're on the commission. Oh, and we can't hear you, Lee. No, we still can't. No. Let's see. I'm going to come back to you in a minute. I'm going to go down and ask Danny here to just share a little bit about your time in real estate, Danny, and kind of what your business, where it comes from, because I think you're different and unique than some of the other people on the Zoom.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. First off, thanks for having me on this panel. Yeah, I got started in residential real estate in June 2014. Leading into that, I was the general manager at an ultra lounge on the Las Vegas Strip called the V-Bar at the Venetian. I'd worked my way up in hospitality from busboy to general manager, and I learned a lot from the service industry, which actually transferred really well into real estate. I didn't realize that it would be such a good foundation to have for getting into real estate, but it absolutely was. And on top of that, as the general manager, we had a very low advertising budget. So I had to get creative and learn how to sell bottle service for $300 or $400 when the bottle only cost me $8. I had to learn how to sell that using social media. And I learned, some cool techniques and tricks and strategies to generate business organically using Facebook and Instagram when it was brand new at the time, and even Snapchat. And I transferred those skills. Luckily, I didn't know if they would work, but I had faith and I had hope to transfer those skills of using social media to generate my real estate leads and ultimately attract my dream clients. And so, the first year I sold 7 or 9 houses, and the next year I sold 17, then 25, and then 35 or 40 last year at around $11 million in gross commission.
And you're a little different too, because I remember you telling me that.
Sorry, $11 million in sales. Not commission.
Dang.
Damn. I was like, damn, I want to be like you when I grow up.
You left us all speechless.
There you are, Lee. I can hear you now.
All right.
Now that we can hear you, Lee, tell us about you.
Well, I think I'm the old soul in the group here. I started practicing real estate when I was 18. I'm 62, so I've done it for 42 years. And I have practiced at an agent level of averaging 187 listings a year. That's why NAR hired me to teach listing classes. And my passion now is running my brokerage and also, which is more of a boutique, and going ahead and going around the country and teaching. So I love this aspect, that people are going to be able to hear different opinions and different mindsets to be able to help them succeed as much as possible. Thank you,
Great.
Debbie.
You also sit on the real estate commission. You should mention that.
I do. I try not to. I try not to bring that up. Half the people respect it, and the other half hate it. But when you get to a certain age in your life, you want to leave a legacy. You want to leave something behind. God forbid, when things happen to you, that you were involved and you tried to help. And that's why I got involved in the real estate division, because I saw it as an opportunity to protect consumers, but also to educate agents how to be good citizens.
Well said. What about you, Matt? Share with us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, I got a degree in finance, and so I started a job working for a construction equipment company. I started buying investment properties for myself, and then realized, why am I letting other people get those commissions when I could just do that myself? And then in that time too, the construction market was pretty bad. So the company that I was working for started doing good. Previous ownership had been embezzling, and so notes came due, and we had to dissipate that company. I jumped into real estate, got my real estate license in 2011. Didn't really take it seriously like a job until about 2013, and joined a team, and then went out on my own around 2014. Started a team 2 years ago. I've got a transaction coordinator, an assistant, and 3 agents on the team, and myself.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And what about you, Tammy? Tell us about you.
My background's in elementary education, and turns out that skill set works out great with real estate. And so we have a team, kind of like Lee. It's a boutique, full service real estate company. We've been together for years, 17 years all together, and we work together, we live together, we play together. It's awesome. It's a utopia. So.
Wonderful. We're going to open up for questions, and I'm not ask everyone to answer every question, but we'll get sort of a snippet from you guys. If there's something you really want to speak on, let us know, and we'll hop in there. It might be good if you guys mute yourself too, just because, so we don't have any outside noise until you're ready to talk.
So for many of you, this isn't your first shift. What's different about this shift, and what are you doing as practitioners in each of your businesses to keep your business going? What are some things that you've done?
One thing that I did with my inspectors was give them a chance to earn money by doing their credits, CE credits. So they have to do 20 CE credits, and then I said, if we're not busy this week, spend the week doing all your CEs online, and you can still make $500.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't afford to lose anybody. It takes many, many months to train an inspector, as I'm sure it takes many, many months to train your buyer's agents or whatever. So I don't want to lose my guys. So I'm doing everything I can to keep them on board.
I went through that short sale economic downturn. We did hundreds of short sales. I didn't go into the REO business, but what I think is different from this is back then when they lost their jobs and the economic downturn happened, we just all jumped in. We worked, we stayed positive, we helped people. I think that's the same way we're going to attack this problem. I do think, though, that with the stimulus package, it's not hopeless like some people felt back in the day. Like there might be a little bit of a safety net. And I hope that the banks are a little more forgiving than what they were back in that day, where they were just, it felt a little bit ruthless to us, helping those people try to keep their homes or figure out financially what they're going to do. And I think we've learned a lot from that. as far as my team, we're doing the same thing that Larry's doing. We're taking CE classes. We're keeping up with our sphere of influence and all that.
You know, I agree with you. I think that this shift is very different, even though it happened very suddenly. There seems to be more of a sense of community. I think in the last shift in 2008, it was kind of every man for himself. Everybody was, the banks, everybody was out for themselves trying to figure out how to survive. This feels a little, it feels very different, even with the stimulus package from the government and the SBA efforts. It feels different, like we're going to get through this together instead of that. It's a different kind of fear. I think there's more faith over fear is what I'm feeling.
I want to ask Lee, because Lee, you've been through more shifts than anybody else on this call. And I've been through a bunch too, but it's a different one, and it's a different situation. Just want your comments.
You know, I started in 1977 and we had inflation at a ridiculous level. We were like 11, 12% inflation. You could buy a house in January and sell it in December and make money. And so one of the things I see, 1980, 1990, 2000, 2008, nothing has been like this. Nothing has been a world pandemic. And I think that what we as practitioners need to do is give hope. And every day I send out informational stuff to my agents, trying to explain to them that you are that emotional bound that they need to be able to say, yes, it's okay, we're going to get through this. We're using a lot of tools from title companies, and I personally have never seen this, and I am very proud of Las Vegas. I'm very proud of America, how it stepped to the plate and doing the right things. I think banks are going to do the right things, just like you guys said. I think there's it's a different time, and if we do this, if, like people like Debbie and myself and other people go out and start to develop these conversations, I think it gives those practitioners that are sitting at home. I've never been locked at home during any recession. That's the weirdest thing for me. I don't know about you guys, but I just wipe down money and put it in a wipe down envelope for the guy that washes my car, you know, and so and I left it outside for him along with the keys, and then he wiped down my keys. It's so unusual that it's wacky, but I think we're going to get through it. I feel very comfortable with it.
That's great. I think along that same lines, let's share. Here we are, like 2 weeks into it. What are you guys doing to stay upbeat and to stay positive?
I know Matt's looking at me like I coughed.
You might be contagious.
Yeah.
I was on a Zoom call and they called on me yesterday morning, and it was 8 a.m. and I hadn't talked to anybody that day. And all of a sudden I sounded like I had coronavirus. It was just, my voice wasn't ready yet. What are you guys doing to stay upbeat and positive? Because I feel like as leaders, it's important because that our mindset matters. And what are you doing to kind of feed yourself or keep yourself positive and being able to inspire others at this time?
I think that it starts with the way you wake up and what you feed your mind in the morning, and throughout the day. Ultimately, what you put inside your head is going to be what you think about all day long. So we luckily as human beings have the choice to decide what we want to think. And one of the things that can help you with staying positive and staying full of hope and looking into a successful and positive future is filling your mind with positive stuff. So you got to protect your brain. You got to protect your mind with what you're putting in there in the morning. I usually wake up and I'm looking at some sort of YouTube video from some sort of influencer, whether it's Anthony Robbins or a leader in the real estate industry, or reading a book, but just definitely starting the day off, not by watching the news, that's for sure. And definitely going back to the things that I was doing before this happened to get my mind right for the day. Like personal development has always been huge for me. So I've kind of reverted going right back into that and kind of doubled down on it. So I know that if I'm putting that positive message wherever I get it, whether it's Jim Rohn or Russell Brunson or Gary Keller or any other leaders in the industry. That's helping me keep my mind right and stay focused on the target and the goal of finding success in this business and helping as many people out in this business as we possibly can.
Well said. Well said. I was thinking back this morning. My son had a third grade teacher, Tammy knows, Mrs. Mast, and she used to tell the kids that they couldn't get sick. It was not an option because she had things for them to do and they couldn't miss school, so they had to push through it. So if they ever felt like they were getting sick, they had to tell their mind that they weren't getting sick, and they had to believe that they weren't getting sick. And that year, the kids didn't get sick. It was like funny because other years they were home with all kinds of stuff, and that year it was just kind of what she pushed onto them, and it really made an impact. I think your mind is so powerful. What is anybody else doing, or where are you guys going for positive stuff, upbeat, lifting stuff, Matt?
Going back to what everybody was saying, we're the greatest nation in the world for a reason. We're going to get through this. You know, I'm not too worried about this. I mean, we're going to get through this. And then right now, you just got to find a workaround, right? People are still going to buy and sell their homes. Like I know a lot of other realtors getting scared about this, but you can't get scared. You know, we're the professionals. Find the way that the workaround is, because they're always going to need to buy and sell their homes. And so that's important. So we got to find those different ways, and then staying positive. That's a huge thing. You're going to be a Debbie Downer every single day. That's an issue. That's going to wear on you. That's going to wear on you physically. You just can't have that. Even before this, I'm heavy into working out constantly. You know, I think that's important because it keeps my mind sharp and it keeps my body sharp, and it keeps your immune system up too. That's important. Eat healthy, do all this, and like Debbie said, keep that mind strong. Mind's a powerful thing. I mean, you see these reports or these research that come around where people beat cancer with their brain. I feel that's real. That's some crazy stuff right there. Keep mentally strong and be smart about this. Find that, like I keep saying, find that workaround. There's business out there. There's people buying and sell their homes. We just got to find them. And a huge thing, keep in touch with your sphere. Keep going back to them, making sure they're okay. I mean, if you show that you care to people and you really do care, they're going to feel that, and they're going to want everybody else to know that, oh, that's my guy. He cares. So
It's also going to feed you.
Absolutely.
I mean, most people don't live under a bridge, so they need help in finding what they like. We're always going to be in need because people need to have a house or a place to live.
Well said. And on that point, you know, our market in Vegas has really been a sweet spot, a hot spot for the iBuyers. We've all heard about them. They've taken tremendous market share up until this point. Now they have put the brakes on making offers. Do you see that as an opportunity now for agents to really capitalize on that? And if so, can you give us some details?
Where are they at now?
Right, they've
I
retreated.
mean, where are they at now? They cared so much about people. Where are they at now? We're here. We're all here, still working. We care. We're the people that are going to buy and sell a house and do a good job with it. Those guys, as soon as it got tough, they backed out. Bunch of babies.
Yeah. Wow, I love that. I love that because we're a people business. We live in the community. We care about people. And this is, I couldn't agree with you more. They retreated because the money is not there. It's uncertain. I think it's now is our time to shine.
Absolutely.
Is anybody missing them?
I had a deal fall apart because we were, the guy was going to go with the iBuyer. It was a tricky sale. They gave him an offer. We went out, we showed him some properties, was all ready to go. And even with the offer given out, we didn't pick a close date and they canceled the contract. So that kind of hurt us a little bit on one deal, but.
I've heard circumstances where people had offers and they gave them $5,000 because they had to back out of it. I've heard a number of different things that the iBuyers are doing at this time, other than stopping things that are already in progress.
Yeah, which
It
is
doesn't
really
feel
kind of disheartening, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What about, we've shifted, and so virtual opens are the new big thing now for what we're doing. Is anybody doing anything to really track their traffic to it or capture leads from virtual opens? How are you doing that?
For me, it's something that I've kind of had a lot of practice with because it's something I was already doing. I didn't necessarily call it a virtual open house, but I realized pretty quickly with a lot of people relocating to Las Vegas and moving here, especially from California, there are often times when, they would want to see the home and they wanted more than just the pictures. 35 to 50 pictures sometimes just doesn't do it justice. So, I've gotten really, really in the habit of doing video for all of my listings. And even doing it myself, just using this phone. I have a little gimbal that I attach to it, a DJI Osmo 3. It's like $130. And it really makes the presentation of the video smooth. It's not choppy. I walk through, I get great angles of each room. I have a case where I'll put a wide angle lens on the phone too. And this is the lens. Let me get it out here real quick. It's sorry about that. It makes the video really, really good. And a wide angle helps you in the tight spaces in the smaller rooms really get a good angle on what those look and feel like. And so I will run ads on Facebook, and I have a video on my Social Agent Secrets business page, Facebook page, that I did this week, which walks through exactly how I set the ad up, exactly how it's generating leads. And one of the things that I do is I tell people when I'm running the ad in like the caption section, I'll put like 3 beautiful photos of the house. And then I'll say, hey, tap the learn more button to get the price, the location, like the address, all of the listing photos, and a bonus full walkthrough video of the property, which I upload onto YouTube. I turn it into a blog post. And so people will click the learn more button on Facebook, and it automatically fills out their phone number and their email, because that's the information that they've given to Facebook. If they want to update it, we tell them, hey, make sure it's your best phone number and your best email, because all of us seem to have multiple emails these days. And then they opt in, and then I automatically get those leads. They're automatically put into the CRM, and then we're following up with them. But that's how we're using the video walkthrough tour. And we get a lot of good feedback from people saying, hey, this is really helpful making the decision as to whether or not I actually want to go and see this property in person. Because the listing photos, even on, our IDX website or Zillow or Realtor.com, they're just not enough. And with these times that we're in, people want to stay safe. They don't necessarily want to go into a home and take on any unnecessary risk. So they want to qualify themselves on particular properties as much as possible. And these videos help them do that. And it's a great way to get them to exchange their information in return for that video. So it's an even exchange, and then we get to follow up and see if we can help them out.
Well, and you've got the capture in there, because a lot of what I see agents doing is just putting stuff out there, but there's no way to capture the people. They're just trying to get eyeballs on it, right? To see if they could make something kind of like the spaghetti theory, where you're being more purposeful with actually.
Yeah, because it's all about conversations. I read this book, Shift, and it said during a shift, you need to double down on your conversations. You have to have, if you were having 20 conversations a day for your regular lead gen, you need to be having 40 conversations a day. And like someone mentioned earlier, it's not necessarily have to be about real estate. It can just be checking in on people. Hey, how you doing? How are things holding up? How are you doing mentally? Like how's everything going in your life? And just having a conversation. They're going to know you're in real estate. They remember you're in real estate. And if that conversation comes up, which likely it will, people are going to ask. And you ask about them, they're going to ask about you. Well, what's happening in the real estate market? What's going on with that? It's your perfect opportunity to jump in and tell them what you know about what's happening in the market. Yeah, people are still buying, people are still selling. And now we're getting to have those conversations. That lead, or that campaign that I set up 3 days ago, which I walked everyone through exactly how to do it on that video on the Social Agent Secrets Facebook page. It's generated 79 leads already at 55 cents per lead.
Wow. So we got a question that I think is pretty good, and it's to you, Danny. It's asking about, are the conversions on the Facebook or Instagram leads the same, or have they dropped off since the virus? And is your traffic and quality of traffic the same, or better, or worse?
So the traffic has increased extremely high. And the reason for that, I think, is because more people are at home, people are spending more time on social media, and they just actually have time to pay attention more. And before all this happened, I used to train and talk about how attention is currency. Attention is currency today. We're all fighting for people's attention. Every single one of us, we're technically in competition against each other all on this panel, but we're all fighting for attention. I believe there's more than enough business for everyone. I have a mindset of abundance, but ultimately people are at home, and the conversions, to answer that question, we're in a business that takes 6 to 18 months usually to convert somebody. So I can't quite track how many of these leads will convert, but I can promise you that we will be nurturing and following up with all of these leads that come in. On average, though, on Facebook leads, I've seen about a 2 to 3% conversion rate, and they'll be ready to buy on average anywhere between 6 and 12 months. If you compare that with like a Google lead where you're doing a Google AdWords search, those will probably convert anywhere from 3 to 9 months. And then if you're buying leads from Zillow, those typically will convert the fastest, and they're the most expensive.
Yeah, 50% is good. Anybody else doing anything with virtual opens, gathering leads?
We're doing more of the hiring the videographers for no matter what the listing is. Usually we're doing that for a little bit higher price listings before, but now we're doing it for this. And also, if you can't afford to do that, fill out the description on each one of the pictures in the MLS. I mean, that's important too. When you're just showing a room, make sure you fill out that description. Oh, it's the bedroom that's upstairs off of the bathroom, something like that. You know, you could do a lot with just what they're providing with the IDX. But yeah, we have 2 listings coming next week, lower price point ones, both sub 300s, and we're doing videographers for both of them.
That's great.
We took our first all virtual listing where the people have kids. They don't want anybody coming in to see the house, so it'll be coming on the MLS in a couple of days, but we worked with a videographer as well. We do a lot of videos anyway, typically, but this is going to be much more important from that aspect of getting that done. And Matt, that's a great idea of really being descriptive on each picture, like this bathroom off the hall, or this is a shared. That's an awesome idea as well. I mean, we do a little bit, but not that descriptive. So it'll be interesting to see. I also think virtual staging in your vacant houses is super important, but that can get spendy.
It's great. And it's funny how we've shifted, and yet it is 2020. So I feel like after this, we're going to be doing a lot of the same things that we're learning now, right? Like we've found more efficient ways to do things. I want to just jump for a second over to Larry. He's probably his internet went down and then he hopped back on. And I know we lost Lee. He said he's trying to connect, but he said his internet's sketchy, and to say he did pay his bill, but it's not connecting for him. Larry, you went from doing hundreds of inspections to slowing down a lot. What's changed for you in the last 3 weeks, and how are you trying to just kind of get through this?
Well, we've had more cancellations or postpones. Like this morning, the phone rang at 8 o'clock and it was a lady. She said, I need to postpone my inspection. My son is not feeling well today. I said, oh, okay. Do you have a time when you want to do it? And she goes, no, but let me call you back in an hour because I have to get this done right away. I said, okay. So we've had that scenario. We've also had, hey, somebody is sick in the house, so we have to do special things, or maybe if they cordon off that one room where grandma is, or another vulnerable person. Maybe they're sick, maybe they don't have coronavirus, but maybe they have some other illness. We've also had where instead of the buyer showing up at the end, we walk them through with a video of our own. Like here, this is what I found on the roof, and this is what I found over here. We got a broken window in there. So some buyers actually like to come and get a debrief in person. We're discouraging that, of course, right now. And between the photographs and the videos in the report and then a live debrief with the inspector, they pretty much get the picture.
Are you usually doing Zoom calls then to kind of go
No,
through?
just
No?
FaceTime or Skype or a video call. live, you know, when the inspector's finished, call them up and go, hey, I'm done the inspection. I'd like to show you a couple things with the pool equipment over here and with this over here. And it's really 10, 15 minutes max.
And you're doing that typically while you're still at the housing to show them stuff.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Smart,
Mhm.
smart. Anything else that's different?
You know, volume's down probably 60%. I don't expect April to be anything like March was. March, we actually ended up pretty good. I mean, we were over last March. But I understand that the number of going into contract, that stat, what do you guys call it? Just under contracts or and whatever that stat is, I know that that's got to be going down, right? But there's not a lot of homes on the market, so hopefully it doesn't go down real far. I mean, people are still buying houses. We're making 7 to 11 appointments a day. So, I mean, we still are functioning.
Are you seeing more
We're just not at that
cancellations though?
We were at a sprint level before, trying to keep up with you guys. And so now we're coasting.
Are you
It's
seeing more
interesting.
cancellations?
Yeah. We've had a few cancellations. You know, sometimes the guy got laid off, and I think 2 or 3 of them, when someone gets laid off, then the lender pulls the plug on the loan.
You know, speaking of that in our community, to shift focus, you know, Las Vegas, we're still primarily a hospitality town. And with the casinos closed, we have many, you know, hundreds of thousands of people that were laid off. Is anybody doing anything to support the community? Anything special in their businesses?
I'm just supporting my own staff by doing
Okay.
the same program that everyone else is probably doing. You know, I submitted my pre-application to the Small Business Administration.
Take care of your own. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I don't want to
Okay.
lose my guys. So that's my little community I'm trying to save.
Sure.
One of the things that I haven't started yet, but I got a great idea to do so. And it was something I was planning on starting doing anyway, was highlighting, you know, a business a week on video on one of my
Oh, nice.
pages in my profile. And I think that the restaurants that are out there are providing huge value to people because we all need food. We all need to eat every day. And there are even some of those restaurants who have been offering like free meals. And I think if what I've done is I've created a list of those restaurants, and the ones that I frequent here in the area I live, in the area that I like to service and focus on, are the ones that I'm going to be reaching out to and seeing if I can highlight and just literally do an interview with the owner, whether it's most likely it'll be virtually, but trying to get some video out front talking about the business. Nothing really real estate related, but highlighting those businesses who are providing value to the community and kind of being a messenger and an interviewer and a reporter, so to speak, of those businesses to help get the word out. I think that for those who are truly helping and trying to give back to the community, I want to put some effort into at least highlighting them and getting their message out, helping getting their message out. That's one of the ways that I think that I'm going to be helping for sure.
And that's a nice activity to do because you have a wide reach.
Yeah, I mean, and if other people see it and they like the message, hopefully they comment and they share it as well. And it helps get that message out even more because, you know, not only are there restaurants, there's schools that are giving out free meals daily. And there's people that don't know about that still. Like, we think because we know about it, that everyone knows about it. Not everyone knows about it necessarily. So being the reporter in the community is definitely a good thing right now. And you're not talking about buying or selling, which we normally do, but people only buy and sell on average every 5 to 7 years or something like that anyway. So your message can't always be about buying and selling real estate. It can definitely be about the community and what's happening in the community though. So that's one of the ways that I think if you're going to be creating video, which I preach all the time, that's one of those things that can be interwoven into your message for sure.
Smart, very smart. Anyone else?
I've got my staff, you know, so, and my team members, I got to make sure they eat, they're getting deals. And then of course my staff's still getting paid. They're working from home right now, but I got to keep the lights on so, you know, they can go pay for their families. Another big thing too, like what Danny said also was support your local business. So these little restaurants that I like to, especially the small ones that I like to attend, we still get takeout from them. I mean, making sure we're going over there and support them, because when this all blows over, I still want to eat their food.
Right.
That's
Well
cool.
said.
I think it's good. We just did some gift cards, and we're just getting some of those out to some of our people ahead of time and trying to really, we did a list of 100 local restaurants, and we're trying to, not shop at the big chains, but do more of the local ones, because those are the guys that are going to get hurt. Tammy, you got back on. It's so fun with internet, isn't it?
Oh my God, my entire computer just crashed on me. So I'm on my iPhone. It's all fun.
It's all fun. Turn your phone this way and your screen will be bigger. We were just talking about.
Is that right? Does that work?
Don't listen.
You're
Divvy
like
and technology. Go the other way.
Yeah,
that's
you might have the lock on.
The portrait lock.
The portrait lock. So maybe just keep it up and down.
Yeah.
All right. Son of a bucket.
That'll work.
All right.
I love it. You never know what's going to happen. We were just asking if there's anything you're doing to support your local businesses, to kind of give back to the community at this time.
Well, I know that a lot of our charities are suffering. Their donations are down. So we support Grant a Giftism. So we've been kind of working with them and getting the word out. And as far as business are concerned, we are trying to do takeout like you guys are. Matt, I hear you. You want these places to still be in business whenever they come in. So we're doing that and supporting the restaurant business as well. But I like to cook, so I probably don't support them every week.
Mackay on Fort Apache and Trop.
Okay.
Hawaiian food. Go get it.
Nice.
All right.
That's your support and your plug. That's
There you
good.
go.
What about technology? What are you guys using now, or is there anything that you've added to what you're using during this time? I mean, I think Zoom is, I don't know about you guys, but I've Zoomed more in the last 3 weeks than I have in my entire life. What are you guys doing, or is there anything that you've added to your what you're using?
So one of the things that I've been holding myself accountable to is doing one video a day and trying to provide value. So yesterday, the video that I did, which I did on Zoom, I'm able to go live from Zoom like we're doing right now on my personal profile on Facebook, was about this gifting app called AvaBot, avabot.ai. And I was testing it out like 2-3 months ago. Because when I sent a referral to an agent in California, they sent me a link and saying, here's a gift, please accept this. And I tried it out. I clicked the link. I was like, what is this? And it asked me a series of questions about what I liked as far as gifts, or what I was interested, like coffee or sweet stuff or technology. And it was like a series of questions that I answered, and it was a bot. And then all of a sudden it was like, okay, we have your order complete and it's going to show up in the mail. And I was like, what is going on? And it came in the mail, and it was actually some really cool stuff that I liked. And it was pretty cool to where I decided I need to use this for my business. And so now, because I can't drop off closing gifts in person, I've decided to really like dive into this app and this solution and start using it. We had 2 closings last week, and I sent them a housewarming gift using this app, and you can personalize the message, or it automates the message for you based on the type of gift. If it's a gift for someone who sent you a referral, it'll automate the message based on them being a referral partner. If it's a closing gift or a housewarming gift for a client, it'll automate that message based on that selection that you made of what type of closing or what type of gift it is. And then you can personalize it. And I personalized it by saying, hey, sorry, I couldn't drop a gift off in person like I normally do after my clients close on a property. But, given the current circumstances of what's going on with this pandemic, I still didn't want to not get you a gift. And I'm using this new platform to help facilitate that. And I'm telling you what, the feedback that I've been getting from these clients is amazing, because it's like, wow, this is a pretty seamless and cool process. And when they receive the gift, it's in like a branded box with my brand's logo on it, and when they open it up, it's based on what they selected, and it prompts them to do a review on like my Google My Business page or my Zillow, whatever link I provide. And I've been getting extra reviews because of it automatically. So it's been a really cool solution as far as a new piece of technology that I'm using since this has all happened. And that's one of the ones that I've kind of started using more and more because of the fact that it can get those gifts out without me being able to be there in person to drop them off.
Is it AVAV or AVABOT?
Yeah. It's
Oh, EV.
EVABOT.ai. I'll drop a link in the chat section about it too.
There you go. Anybody else using any kind of technology that you weren't using before? Have you discovered anything that's working? Matt, you look like you're like dying to say something there.
We talked about this on the other panel we did. We've done, because we deal with a lot of out of state, out of country buyers. We're always using FaceTime and Skype, and then different ways to communicate with them, like WhatsApp. We've done a lot of those already. Everything's changing. Everything's new right now. We're pretty busy January, February. So we're still dealing with a lot of business closings right now, working on the actual business. We're always looking at new stuff, always paying attention to what's new and what's out there.
Nice.
Zoom is the new thing for us, where it's really fun. I really like it. I'm not going back to the office ever.
There
It's
you
so
have
fun.
it. She's taking a stand. No, we
We
spoke.
had an-
Oh, go ahead.
We had an agent last week in our office. We're doing Zoom, daily calls for our office. We just have a once a day kind of call where people can hop on, and there's more or less people there all the time. But it's one of the things he said, oh my gosh, I was more productive today than I could be in any given day because I'd had back-to-back Zooms every half hour. And I think he had talked to like 8 or 9 different clients and was purposeful in all of them because he just had to click end, and then he could hop back onto the next one, and then he could hop onto the next one. He didn't have to get in his car and go and drive somewhere and take that time. So he was kind of like you, like, I'm not going back to the old world. I'm going to be doing Zoom a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, one of the things that they talk about, you've probably heard in many venues, is cutting expenses at this time. Has everybody taken an opportunity to look at their financials, and have they found opportunities to cut back on expenses since it's uncertain how long this is going to last? Would you be willing to share?
I immediately when this started going on, I took a look at my expenses and definitely started cutting some stuff. But I gotta be honest with you, I'm doubling down right now too. Want to make sure these guys eat, so I doubled down on some of our online lead expenditures. So we've doubled down on that. Zillow, Realtor.com, they're offering major discounts right now.
Yeah.
So I've jumped on board of that, because we're going to see this through the end. Like I said, there's only one way to go, and it's to go forward.
So you're getting, because you get leads from Zillow. So for you, you're ahead of the game if they're offering 50% off many of their products, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and you get a
already.
nice return on investment.
Yep.
Okay. Anyone else?
Like I said, I lived through the last downturn and learned a lot about finances. And so by the grace of God, I put together a war chest that we can last through this downturn. And I'm hoping it's not going to last very long, but we're financially good on that.
Nice. I know that's something that we talk about often with our associates, and it's something that Deb and I look at closely every month. And we run pretty lean, and we also had to go back and we found some more opportunities to cut some expenses. That was the first thing that we did. And because we're in the land of all the shiny objects, right?
And I think as agents, we tend to kind of sign up for stuff, and it's only $50 a month, it's only $100 a month, it's only this, it's only that, and then all of a sudden, we went through our Market Center credit card bill we pulled up 4 months of it, I think, in the bank statements, and what did we get rid of?
I think we saved, not including one area, like $1,300. $1,300 a month. And we run very lean, but we really went and did even a deeper dive and reanalyzed what do we really need during this time. Our office is lean at the moment, meaning that there's not a lot of traffic in it. So we cut out some things and we were surprised by that. We really dug deep and asked ourselves, do we get a return on investment in this? By having this, how long can we do it without it? Is it an essential business need right now? Those are the questions that we asked ourselves, and that's a number we came up with. So that was one of the first things we did.
Everything we looked at, we said, do we get a good return on this? What is the return on it? Or does it, am I getting 2 or 3 times back on it, or else I don't want it? And I've been looking at my business credit card, and there's silly stuff in there that we've gotten rid of. So I'd encourage you all to kind of take this time to do that. You're home and you've got a little bit extra time. Maybe it seems like it's been busy, but the time to kind of go through your expenses, because it matters. And there's stuff in there that I think sometimes we're just spending. We don't realize that we don't see it.
Yeah, and I would say not just for your business, because we actually found some things in my personal finances that were like, what am I paying for this for? Because I think a lot of us have done the same things. I've gone through my credit card statements, my debit card statements, and like, what's on auto pay? What is this charge? Really, really looked at it. And on the personal finance side is where I found some things that we were able to eliminate. And also calling up any of these people who you have determined that it is a good return and you do want to keep it, it's still worth calling those companies and seeing if you can get a better deal. Like Matt just said, some of the lead generation services that he's using is offering up a better deal on those types of programs. Well, guess what? Every other business out there does not want to lose your business, and they know things are tough right now. So a lot of them are willing to wheel and deal, I believe.
I think it's really, really true. So I'm going to ask, we talked about Zoom a little bit. What else have you guys learned during this that you might not shift back to? What are you going to do what have you learned in the last 3 weeks that you're going to take and move forward and not maybe go back to how you used to do something?
Okay, so I've got this crazy idea, which I'm going to execute on. But I've decided that for buyer consultations and listing consultations, I'm going to be doing them virtually. Not all of them. In the future, I'm sure it's going to end up turning into a face-to-face conversation like it always has, and end up having the contract signed in person. I believe we're going to get back to that one day, but I'm creating a learning management system, and there's a lot of solutions out there. Teachable.com, ClickFunnels, Kajabi, to name a few. I'm using ClickFunnels, but I'm literally writing down a buyer consultation, step by step, the things that I would normally talk about, and creating videos, almost like a mini course for buyers. And at the end, there's a call to action. Hop on the phone and let's talk. And same thing on the listing side. It's still kind of jumbled around in my head, but I'm going to be doing it. And it's going to be a new advertising campaign too. Opt into this free home buying course, or opt into this free, how to sell your home, maximize your equity when you're selling your home course. I haven't decided on the names, but I'll be using a learning management system to educate my clients, since I can't do it in person, virtually through a learning management system. And I believe that this is going to be a trend in the future that a lot of agents are going to want to adopt. A lot of brokerages are going to want to adopt. I'm pretty excited about it because I don't think that there's anyone really doing it. And I just can't wait to get it out. So you guys need to hold me accountable to that. I'm going to make it happen.
I made a note. Don't worry.
Even before this happened, our team went and did a whole weekend of short little videos teaching, like, okay, now you're in escrow, or now this is, and about a minute long. But that is a great idea. I love it.
We considered making a video too for home owners, what to expect when your home gets inspected. And one of the things for our protection too would be, please let us know all the basics. Of course, are the utilities on? Is the electrical cabinet unlocked? but also, is there anyone sick in the house?
Mm.
You know, we did a 30, was it? No, it was 18 units. And in 2 of the units we didn't do because the people were sick, and the property manager posted it on the door for us. And I said, well, had he not done that, we wouldn't have known.
Wow.
So that should be part of our due diligence, is to send the listing agent a notification or maybe a link to the video to send to their homeowner, the seller, so they're not shocked when we decide, you know, hey, we can't enter that room, or we can't enter this unit, or whatever the case may be. They're going to know ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then we'll also let them know that we'll do what we can to protect them, right? If our guys need to wear a mask, gloves, booties, etc.
And you actually just gave me a great idea for part of that course. Maybe you and I can do a video together about the home inspection process, and that'll be one of the modules, because we're going to be going over that anyway, along with appraisal and the whole process. So I'll be reaching out to you about that.
Yeah, nobody knows what to expect. When a home inspector shows up, sometimes they're like, oh, are you going to just be 15 minutes? We're like, no. Well, the last guy was only here for 5 minutes. Well, that was the appraiser. Oh. We're going to open every single drawer. We're going to run every single appliance. You know, people don't know that we're going to open their drawers sometimes, and they're offended. But you got to open the drawers.
Mhm.
If you don't, you'll get in trouble. Nobody will be
Yeah, well,
happy.
the one drawer you don't open is the one that's broken. And then when
Right.
you're doing your walkthrough with your buyer, or the 3 months after they move in, that's when they find it.
Yeah, I think a video is super smart for you, Larry, because I feel like a lot of agents don't articulate what to expect. And so you kind of start off on the wrong leg otherwise. And sending a video ahead of time would be
Mhm.
just fill in all the blanks. Here's what to expect. And then they know when you show up that you're going to be there for more than 10 minutes and you are going to do those things.
Right. Oh, you're going to run my dishwasher? What? That means I have to take all those grocery bags out of there?
Wow.
Sometimes you open up stuff that hasn't been opened in many, many years. And yeah, we get surprised.
I'm sure you have all kinds of stories. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this has been good. I've taken some good notes. I want to know what kind of parting comments, suggestions you have for agents that are out there. What should they be doing? What should they be thinking? How should they get through this? What do you want to suggest to them?
Well, for me, keep selling houses. We all need transactions to happen. People still need to buy houses. People are still buying houses. So thank you, and carry on.
Yeah. It's interesting to me that we have continued at the rate that we have, and we've been kind of watching those numbers. I know every Monday now at 3, we're starting to do a Monday market watch, and we're just tracking the numbers week to week so we can see exactly what's happening. And some things have slowed up a bit, but there still is a boatload of people out there busy to buy houses. So hopefully you'll get some pickup there too. Who else?
Yeah, I would suggest, and this is, I can't say it enough. Now more than ever, people are more willing to get on video. Before, I train on this topic for the past 3 years, and this has pretty much been my obsession. I believe that the most powerful tech in your real estate business is the digital version of yourself. It's not the iBuyers, it's not the FinTech, it's not all of these other search portals, mega search portals. It's you. Okay, you guys don't sell houses, you sell yourself. And the way that you can do that and get more exposure now more than ever is to get on video and let people decide if they like you or not. Let people decide if they want to do business with you or not. But provide value while you're doing it. That should be your message, whatever it is. Some way, shape, or form, if you're educating people through video and you're showing up consistently, they're going to be drawn to you. They're going to be attracted to you. And they're going to ultimately want to do business with you in the future. It may not be today, but it might be 6 months from now. It might be a year from now. Because when you educate someone, they almost feel obligated to return that favor. They want to give you something back because you've given them something. It almost goes back to the golden rule. So if I were to suggest one thing to all of the agents out there, people are still buying and selling. You can go on your MLS and see listings going under contract every day. You can see new listings going on the market every day. So you know that it's happening. Now, with people being home and on their phones now more than ever, is the time for you to show up in that digital form and provide as much value and education as possible. That's what I would suggest everyone do. Find a way to show up on video, on social media every day if you can, even if it's for 15 seconds, even if it's for 2 minutes, just do it. It's normal now. You don't have to be scared about it. Just do it.
Yeah, this is really pushing a lot of people outside their comfort zone because of being on video. Whereas before you can kind of hide from it if you wanted to, but now really to stay connected, this is the new way to communicate with people, whether it be video on Facebook or Zoom meeting, even FaceTime. Everybody's got to get a little uncomfortable, and I think that's good.
You know, it's funny because I took some notes today. I think I've got some good things. And one of the things I wrote down is 1 video a day, add value, Danny, because I think, you know, you've told me that forever and I do them sometimes, but I don't do them every day. So I think by saying 1 a day, I can do 1 video a day. That's easy. So thank you for that. What about you, the other two? What kind of parting words or comments do you have for our people? There's a lot of people on this call. Wow. I'm just looking. Good.
What I would like to tell people is what a great, amazing place we live. We still have $23 billion worth of business and development coming into Las Vegas. We will get over this coronavirus. People still love coming to Vegas because great weather, great taxes. They will still come. We need to keep hope. It's not, I'm so privileged to sell real estate in Las Vegas because it's a great place. Nothing against Detroit, but I'm just happy I'm here in Vegas. And people need to know that. I just did statistics. We're strong in our real estate market. We have 2 months of inventory. Hello. It's awesome.
Well said.
Yeah, I love it. And you know what? We're one of the only places, like I'm seeing people back in Minneapolis and places where they're stuck in their house. And like, I've been in my backyard every day and it's fabulous out there. It's, you know, we're spoiled.
Yeah, very much so.
Matt, what about you?
I think touching your sphere, like I said it before, keep up with your sphere. Not just a blanket email or text out to them, make personal emails out to them, making sure they're okay, touch with them. They're going to remember you when this is all done and over with. And if you have downtime, work on your craft. Let's be experts at our craft. I think everybody can work a little bit about knowing how to do this game, little intricacies about new tech. Another thing too is knowing what's going on in the market. Check those stats every single day. Don't let because it's an ever-changing market right now. We can't look at last month. We got to look at what's current. So continue to check the stats on what is happening in the market and work on you. You know, I think that's a big deal too. Work on us to be better as realtors. But then touching that SOI, I think that's huge, and I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, I think it's huge, Matt, and I think it's the most important thing we can do. And I think it helps our mindset too, because I've had some great conversations with people and they're slowed down a little bit. I'm slowed down a little bit. And so we're having dialogue that we wouldn't normally have. And it feels good too, right? To be able to connect with somebody that you care about and visit with them. It's a good conversation. So thank you guys all for being here. I think we streamed this live off of the Keller Williams Realty Las Vegas Facebook page. So if you want to share it, feel free to. We're trying to build a library and really just give back. And I think you guys added some more valuable stuff to what's going on. Every time we do one of these, there's more takeaways. And I feel like, Matt, you nailed it in saying that it's changing every day. And so we're changing every day, right? Because we haven't lived through this before. So thank you to all of you for being here. Larry, thanks for sending your builder stuff, Bridge Home Warranty or Bridge Home Inspection, sorry. Thank you for, there it is. We'll tag you in it. Have a great day, guys. Thank you all for being here.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you guys later. Bye.